What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Jeff, the Master Barber. In this edition, we're gonna be doing low fade with a guard number 5 out top to my boy. Look, if you're seeing this, thank you for letting me record you and your dad too. So yeah, we're gonna start using the Instinct Metal Edition with guard number 5. That's the first step. And also I'm gonna be using my nifty combs. I like the combs when there's a lot of volume for a lot of hair like that. I like to preach it a lot. They make sure you use for longer hair, use the comb, because that way you could definitely, comb the hair back in place to see what you're still working with. For those who still ask me for a machine that could do it all, this machine definitely could do it all. The Instinct, what I like about it is it has a vector motor, so basically when it feels any resistance, it will kick in like the RPMs and it will go higher RPMs and it will chop the hair like whatever hair that is resistant, it will take it out of the way. But yeah, what I like about this clipper is that it's small, especially I got a small hand, so definitely even with the weight compared to the plastic one, it still feels a good solid premium clipper. But yeah, one thing that I like to say too is that when you pass in, I know it's a simple clean atop the hair, but even though it's like that, I still like to pass it a couple of times. I like to pass it different ways, different like across, obviously against the grain, but I go across just like I'm doing right now, and I pass it until another thing that I like that I did modification to this machine. I don't know if the new ones are coming with it, but the modification that I could recommend you guys is to switch the blade to the echo. So with the echo blade, you hear the crunch sound. So it definitely makes the difference. Me personally, now right here, we're using the clipper, another trimmer, and with the level close, no guard, in order to do the first line. And then right away, I get guard number 1, level close, and that's my third step. I don't like to use the trimmer, especially if it has a lot of hair like that. I don't like to use the trimmer. Because simply, you know what I mean? The trimmer, I will use it only in the bottom once it's all cleaned up. And with this type of clipper, you could definitely clean any type of hair and do any type of line. Notice I didn't print the line. I just went from bottom to top to do the line, so that way when it's time to take out the line, it's easy to take out the line. Right now, the fourth step is guard 1.5, and notice the bigger the guard, the bigger the C motion. Even it doesn't look literally like a C motion, I'm doing like a flick to it, and the level is completely closed. And notice too that now I'm not using the comb, I'm using the brush. But at times, if I'm gonna go higher in that area right there, I open the level, by the way, so it's 1.5 level open, basically like almost 2. And I close the level again, and then I stick a little lower, not too high. The front, we're gonna leave it a little dark. So right there, I switched to guard number 2, and notice also I switched to the cone number 2, and the regular comb. And notice how I'm passing a little higher in that area, but notice that I'm also using the comb. Why? Because it's a lot of volume. So yeah, later on in that area too, we're gonna be passing the shears over comb, so that way we could perfect it even more. But notice how we getting everything really already taking shape. And just because you pass a couple of times, that doesn't mean that it's done. No, it's still, we gotta do a lot of work right here. We're going with the 1/16 or the half. It was level open, now it's level close. Now that the guard is a lot smaller, noting the motion too, noting the seek motion or the flick, it's a lot smaller, but it's in top of the line. And notice that I'm back using the brush. All this thing between switching the brush to the comb, switching the blade, switching the blade, switching the guards, the motions of the guard with each guard different motion. All those things matter. If you don't incorporate that, definitely is gonna give you a hard time to develop a nice fade or low fade, whatever fade you're doing. But yeah, right now I'm using still the guard half, and I'm still now using the corner. Notice that I'm tilted a little bit the machine at times, and that's because I'm using just the corners. The corners of the blade, I like to use it when I'm still detailing or I see little things that pull my eye attention. So that's what I do. But right here, I'm jumping back to guard number 1, level close. Then after that, I'll go back with no guard, level semi-close, and I'll go on top of the line. And you can see that it's raising the line. Then I go back again with the guard number 2. I notice that it's still kind of dark, that area, so that's why I keep passing it. And yeah, one thing that you don't notice too is that at times when you keep racing like the border, the lines, all the stuff is gonna pull your attention, so you're gonna go back and forth with the different guards. But it's to take care of that. And then right now I'm using the cocos. Wow, the cocos, man, ever since I also switched the blade to the graphite, definitely it does the trick. And we did the arch right there. Now we're using the trimmer. Now we're using it right there in the lower part. Remember what I said, that we were gonna do the shears of a comb? The shears that I'm using are the Form, the FROMM. And notice how I'm doing the shears. The shears have big teeth and small teeth. The big teeth is for the volume. And notice that I'm still develop it and still like trying to bring everything out crispy. And now I bring the Instinct, the plastic one. The reason why I use the plastic one is slider. So when I try to go light-handed to refine and details, I like the light. But the Instinct, the metal edition, which is this one right here, definitely does the trick too. In the back, we basically be doing the same step that we did in the side, which it was basically with the trimmer. With the clipper with no guard, then the 116, then the 1, and now we're going with the trimmer to get that area right there, and then notice, like I said, the cocoa, I'm passing it, and just because we passing it, that doesn't mean that's it. No, now we're gonna go detailing. And how I like to detail, you notice right there, I'm using the Instinct again with the guard number 1, level close, and we pass on exactly in that area because I see there's something that it needs to be more detailed. With the 1, didn't grab it, so that's why I switched to guard number 1. Notice how I'm lifting one side more than the other. That's because I'm using the right corner. Now I'm using the whole, then I go at times and I use the whole blade. Right now I'm using no guards, and but then I switch it back to 1. That's because once you quit, you start like erasing some whatever lines or whatever imperfection. All the imperfections are gonna show up where they be a little higher, so that's why I'm using guard number 1 right now. Level open, by the way, so that's 1.5. And then still in this area right here, I think that it could be much blend in, and I'm using guard 1.5. That was level close. Now I open it, and then same thing how I did in the sides. Shears over comb. With the shears over comb, definitely it makes I connect the fade with the guard 5 on top. Even though I could have passed guard number 4 or guard number 3 in that area, I still could do it with this. I have better control, and I could match it up all the hair perfectly, and I have better control. That sometimes using the whole guard, like the 4 or the 3, you will pass it and it will still not come out as tight and flawless. So notice how I'm passing the shears completely even in top of the shears, and notice how the comb, I like to use with a bright comb or a lighter comb, because it's simple. It exposes the dark hair much better. So whenever I'm passing the shears, I notice that boom, that's the hairs right on top of it. I cannot miss it. If I had a dark color, I will not be able to, I have to focus more with my eyes have to be more focused on what I have to cut. Sure, I could do it, but it will definitely, it's much easier with a white comb, is what I'm trying to say. So now we're using the hairspray to lock it in the hair. Once we gonna doing the lineup, that's what I like to put. And then I don't longer use the blow dry. I just use the hair duster with regular air, so that way it doesn't burn them or anything. I feel uncomfortable. And then I start my lineup right in the middle, and then I work my way all the way to the right. I keep everything natural. There's some clients, they have some, like for the forehead, they, you have to be careful how you do it. They may have like small entrance. So in this case, like this kit right here, definitely had like the small, which is a good thing. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but it has a small forehead, so you gotta be careful symmetrically how to do the box out, and how I also get symmetrically real nice crispy line up is by watching the mirror. The mirror is never gonna, like right here, I'm using regular water, and we're gonna use the blow dryer. I'm using the Dyson. You could use any blow dryer of your preference. And what I'm doing is basically, once you cut the hair with the guard number 5 or whatever, especially if the hair was long, it stay with as natural, like it goes different way. It doesn't go back in place just like that. So with the heat, with the water and wetting it, and then putting some heat, definitely, and going with the flow, going also like moving it, make sure that the water dries up. While it's drying up, definitely it makes it somewhat going back to place, and then it's gonna be a lot easier too when we put our powder texture, and that's gonna give it's gonna puff up more, but it's gonna be more even, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, the haircut right here is coming along. Now what I'm gonna do, before I even go any further, I'm just adding the shaving cream. Use the Elegance shaving cream, and I put it exactly in the lineups, exactly where I'm gonna do the lineup. In this case, I'm doing the shaper right now. One thing that I always say, stretch the skin, so that way you feel more comfortable, and that way you have a nice tight skin, so when you glide the blade, it doesn't get stuck in the skin, and you have better control. Always do it nice, and don't put too much pressure, just enough that you could feel the blade that is doing its thing. The blade that I'm using is the Dorco blade, and the razor holder is the Philharmonica. I keep it simple, I have worked with different blades through my entire career since 1996, and definitely this one is still the classic one that I like, the regular simple one, and that it worked for me effectively. And we're doing the eyebrows. By the way, everything that I'm doing on this kit, everything from the eyebrows to the guard, is basically what the dad or him, he told me to do. One thing that you gotta always take in consideration is that you have to take in consideration is consultation. Once the client sit, you have to consult with him. Wait for him to tell you what he wants. If he don't know what he wants, then you could guide him, give him some options, some suggestion, and then base it out of that. If he says, yeah, do whatever you think, then you do whatever you think. But in this case, his dad says, pass him the guard number 5, and that's what we did. So, you know, there's gonna be always people saying, I should have left it alone, so that way when you put the powder it have better texture. Remember, I did the consultation, and if that from the get-go saying, just pass number 5 because it's a little bit too hairy, so that's what we're gonna do, you know. So we passing number 5, and you know, right here I just add the rolled on powder, the texture powder, and even though it's short, you could still do some texturize. And it's not about doing a texturize, because he didn't ask for no texturation anyways. He just his dad asked just for number 5, but me going above and beyond, I still kind of, you know, go and give a little extra, and that's what I'm doing right now. So basically right here, as you could tell, we're using the comb, and we're using the comb to basically put the side hair in its place. Right now I'm using the blade just to do the final touch up. And yeah, if you or anyone that saw this video got anything from it, and you put it to practice, and if it does the technique that I said in some of the sections that I said did work for you, I would like to know. If you could put it in the comment, let me know. And if it's something that you still have question too, let me know in the comments. Also, like I said, I would like to see you in the live streaming. When I'm doing live streaming in the barbershop, I would like to peg you. I would like to welcome you to my live stream, so that way you could be part of it. I have a system that read the comments, so you could hear the comments and everything. But yeah, I hope you like this video. This is the final result. Look at how it looks, you know, nice and clean and sharp. And remember, it's not how we start, it's how we finish. And in the kit right here, look, it was like, yeah, this is fire, this is amazing, this is one of the best haircut I ever have. And he comes all the way from Baltimore, Maryland, and he said even up north they couldn't cut him like that. So that says to me that I did my job. I hope you did like this video. Like I said, subscribe, share it, pass it to you boys or whatever, the people that need help. And it's your boy Jeff, the Master Barber. See you next time. Peace.